In today's video, the process of bikini competition prep.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about the process of what it takes to get on stage as a competitive bodybuilder, with the added caveat that we're going to talk about the Bikini Division specifically. Now, this division's only been around for less than 10 years, so it's still being defined and still evolving. And initially it was a sport that was basically defined by, girls that didn't quite have the muscularity to compete in figure, and it had more of a pageant element with the hair, the makeup, and even the stage presence having a large factor in the scoring. And I think all of that is still present. The Bikini Division is still very much about, getting on stage with a lot of confidence, a lot of poise, a lot of beauty. But now the division has evolved into something that requires more muscle. The posing has evolved. They allow girls to look muscular on stage and show off their shape. And so that's probably the most exciting part about the Bikini Division for me, because as my background initially as a competitive bodybuilder myself, when I started coaching girls in the Bikini Division, those are things I all had to learn. I feel very confident in helping people put on muscle, lose body fat, peak for a show. I had to learn the finer points of the Bikini Division, so I want to go over some of that stuff today. And then maybe, if you guys are interested, what you can do is leave comments below. We could start a video series. We could start this topic of breaking down individual things, but I want to go from the ceiling down and talk about everything that goes into this. And if you're interested in following someone who documents their prep, well, it's pretty exciting for me, because my client Deraja Hill just posted a video on her YouTube channel, and she's going to do a weekly documentation of her prep for the Arnold Classic. For those that are not familiar, the Arnold Classic in Ohio is perhaps the most prestigious bikini competition in the world. Why? It's invitation only. They only invited 17 girls this year. Now, the Olympia title is without a doubt the biggest title. Everyone wants the Miss Bikini Olympia title. You can qualify for the Olympia by, a number of ways. The only way you can qualify for the Arnold is to make their qualification process just to apply, then they review. So Deraja's gonna do a weekly video. I'm gonna link her channel in the description below. Go follow her. And we may even put her on my channel through this process, because she's coming to Tampa. We're going to be doing things like body composition testing, hormone testing, and document the changes as we go through prep for the Arnold and the Olympia. But this is a place that I've gotten to over the course of my 9 or 10 years as a coach, where I have to understand my competitors on many, many levels. Not just, hey, let's get in shape and let's get some good conditioning and let's peak well. No, we have to understand what the judges are looking for. What are the current trends? How can we stand out? What is it going to make us be the most competitive we can be? And sometimes I even have to tell clients that maybe this is not the good division for them. Maybe there are other opportunities. So understanding what a client's goals are is number one. I want to treat you as you're a beginner. Let's just say you've never done a show before. Where should you begin? The first thing I tell all my competitors that have never been to a show is you need to attend a show. A lot of people decide they want to compete by seeing pictures and videos, but they've never actually been to a show. The best thing you can do, step one, find a show. Go on the internet machine, type in bodybuilding show, the town you live in, the closest big city, and the year 2020. This is going to give you an idea of some shows that you can attend. This is a very important step. Go to prejudging. Watch it all the way through. Maybe, if you can, talk to some other people at the show. Talk to some of the other competitors that are walking around. If you see somebody come off stage, ask them what their experience was like. Learn a little bit about the sport. If this gets you excited, then this is the process that you need to start. You need to start figuring out when you should do your first show. Really, you don't know where your place is in this sport until you get up on stage under those lights. Anybody can take good pictures in the gym with their, good selfie angles, but when you get under stage lights, with judges looking up at you, stage lights shining down on you, in a bikini, well, there is no hiding anything. And this is where we can find out what your strengths and weaknesses are. So for all my potential clients, the first thing I say is go attend a show. Then how do you pick a show? Well, the first show should always be very, very low stress. I don't want to create a bunch of anxiety around travel or a huge competition for the first one. Now, if your first competition that's local happens to be a big one, that's fine. Then we need to set expectations. What should your expectations be? Well, the expectation for the first show should be to get up on stage, enjoy yourself, get under those lights, look and feel amazing. Don't fail at the things that you have control over. You don't get to control how tall you are, how tiny your waist is, how wide your shoulders are. You get to control a lot of the factors that go into prep, like how long you took to prepare, how much work you put into it. So choosing a show that's local to you is very important. Why? Because you can drive, you can sleep in your own bed, you can potentially have less anxiety around bringing food with you, around if things come up and you need to get back home quickly. Like, there are a lot of opportunities to do shows far away that are very exciting, but I would encourage most people in most situations to make that first show just something local, something you can go to and enjoy. Your friends and family can maybe come and support you, and you can find out just how you feel about the sport. Now, let's talk about the nitty-gritty details. Let's talk about the diet. What should a contest prep diet look like? Now, I, as a coach, have a philosophy that I like to use. That approach is called flexible dieting. Now, I can link a free ebook below, which is just a guide to introductions of flexible dieting. What should it look like? A lot has been made of flexible dieting over the last, 10 years, where people think it's not a great approach to contest prep because they believe that flexible dieting encourages eating junk food or eating things that are, while maybe macro-friendly, not necessarily the most nutritious options. I don't believe flexible dieting should be used in contest prep as a means to include as much junk as possible. It should be used as a means to vary your diet enough so that you're getting a good variety of food while also sticking to whole food sources and creating your own meal plan. One of the biggest issues that I have with coaches that give out meal plans is that most of them are not qualified. Unless you're getting a diet plan from a registered dietitian, you're probably not getting it from a qualified person. Also, if they are giving out a meal plan to you without an intake form, without understanding your height, weight, training experience, your metabolism, if you haven't done a diet recall, if you haven't had a phone call with this person, if they're just sending you a meal plan, that is a huge problem because they're not setting that up for you as an individual, and I see this quite a bit. Whereas if we're taking an approach like I prefer, like I like to see, where we are taking an intake form, we're looking at what the individual is using currently, we're creating a macronutrient profile around that, and then the individuals are creating their own meal plan based around what their actual numbers should be and the foods that they enjoy. I believe we're doing a lot of benefit for a competitor. Why? We're setting them up for success because they're going to learn about nutrition. There is a learning curve. You need to understand what's in food. You don't need to treat food like it's binary, good and bad, okay? So by using this approach, well, we get to learn about food. We also get to learn about creating our own meal plans, which requires what? Time management. Bodybuilding competition, getting on a bikini stage, it's going to require a lot of time management. You're going to have to get very good at setting aside time for yourself. You need to set aside time for your training. You need to get to bed on time. You need to set aside time to make sure that you're doing things like meal preparation, bikini posing. These are all essential parts of the process. So that's why I love this philosophy. Are there other ways to do it? Perhaps, but this is the one that I feel has the most sustainable approach, and it's something that, I have not wavered on. While I do feel that macronutrient-based flexible dieting has evolved a little bit, it is still the best process. Now, let's talk next about cardio. It's an evil word. People hate cardio. Well, cardio is actually good for you. It's good for our cardiovascular health. Can it be used improperly? Absolutely. But when you have to diet down for a show, there's only two things we can really do to create a caloric deficit: reduce calories and increase cardio, increase activity. Those two things are the variables we're going to use to get body fat off. So that's the cardio aspect. We're just using cardio as a tool. I feel like nutrition and cardio stand alone, as they are the means that get us lean. Your training should still be built around trying to train hard, trying to build muscle, and trying to put on muscle. A lot has been made over the approach that we take to getting ready for a bodybuilding show. Should we do high reps? Should we do low reps? The approach that you should take should be the approach that helps you put on the most muscle throughout your journey. Don't all of a sudden make a complete shift to your training style just because you've entered contest prep. What builds muscle keeps muscle. There are going to be natural adjustments in contest prep as your energy changes, as your kind of strength shifts a little bit. There are going to be adjustments that you need to make, but as long as you're paying attention to stimulating the muscle, there's been a lot of research, a lot of case studies on bodybuilders that have dieted down for shows, natural bodybuilders that have kept all their muscle. Yes, you look a little bit different because you're so lean. Yes, your leverages change and even your energy and strength will change, but you haven't lost lean body mass, okay? As long as you're training hard, you're taking care of your diet, and you're taking your time, we have found that the best approach to contest prep allows us to get there with all our muscle. We've talked a lot about this process of contest prep. I would like to hear from you in the comments below about things you would like to know about. What can I address? What can I answer? There's a lot of mystery behind competing. I remember the first time I went to compete, it was a complete mystery to me. I would like to pull back the curtain for you guys, answer all your questions, and I'm gonna do a video addressing this. You can also follow Deraja on her journey, and we will talk to you soon.